Welcome to my very first Coffee Date Thursday collab video. I'm really excited to be a part of this collab group. It seems like a really great bunch of ladies with some really interesting prompts coming up in the next couple months, and so I thought I would jump right in and get involved with it. So this week's prompt is organization tips for your family. I am a working mom and my husband also works outside the home. We have a second grader who does swim lessons every week and Girl Scouts every other week. Between those two things, those keep her busy in addition to school activities, friends, church, all kinds of different things going on. And we also have a preschooler who admittedly doesn't have a whole lot of extracurricular activities going on, but we still need to keep track of things going on at her daycare and things like that. So the biggest way that I need to stay organized to keep things sane around here is to keep track of our calendar. And the way that I keep track of our calendars is to use Google Calendar. So I thought what I would do is, it's a little ghetto, but I'm still kind of a newbie at YouTube and video, and I haven't quite learned how to do the whole screen capture thing on the computer. So I'm just going to be taking my point and shoot camera and showing you my computer screen. It's not going to be perfect, but I still think it would be helpful if you're looking for a new solution in keeping multiple family members' schedules organized and easy to access. Alright, so what you're looking at right now is my default calendar view. I like to use a 3-week view just because it keeps me looking ahead a little bit, and so that I can be just a little bit more prepared for what's coming up in the coming weeks. Typically this is kind of what I open it up to so that something coming up in the next couple weeks catches my eyes. But what I will typically do, where I kind of typically stay, is here in my week view. So we're going to get started here. One of the first things that I love so much about using Google Calendar to keep track of everybody's schedules are that I can create multiple calendars. So as you can see, I have this thing here that says my calendars, and let's see if I can, I'm trying to do this looking through my, these are my calendars. As you can see, there's a calendar for each member of our family, and it is color coded so that I can quickly look and see based on the color who each appointment belongs to. And then I also have, I don't have that turned on right now because you can toggle these things on and off to show up in your calendar view over here. And I didn't need this at the time, but this is birthdays and anniversaries. Household, this is where I keep track of things like recurring chores around the house, taking out the trash on Wednesday, paying daycare and after school program tuition. I keep track of payday. I keep track of what loads go in the laundry at certain times. And I don't necessarily keep these on the calendar because I need the calendar to tell me to do them, but I have reminders set to go off on my phone to remind me to do those things at a certain time. So that's why I have those here. And then I have a calendar for Tired Mommy Tales for different, it's kind of my editorial calendar and deadlines and things like that. I have my work appointments in this calendar, and then workouts, so I can schedule times when I'm planning to do my workouts. I love that I can toggle these on and off to see what I want to see at certain times depending what my needs are. And I love the color codedness. So it's so easy for me to just look and be like, oh, orange is Keith, pink is me, household is kind of the green color, work is black, and I can just quickly figure it all out looking real quick to see. Now another thing I like is not just I can have multiple calendars that I create, is there's also web-based calendars that I can have downloaded to look at. So I have things like, this is Brooks School has a web-based calendar that I can get automatically downloaded to my calendar, and I can see it easily. My husband, Keith, works in athletics, and luckily the NCAA sports schedules for the more popular sports are available online. So instead of having to manually input every one of his women's basketball games that will happen, I can just oops, let me see if I can just download it. See right there, Lady Vols, women basketball. I can very easily, that just comes right off the web. I don't have to do any work and that gets downloaded. Now, that's something that's very unique to our family. Other families, I can imagine, won't need things like that, but that's just something that's been really, really great for me. I use Plan to Eat as my meal planning resource, and our meal plan can be automatically fed into my Google Calendar, which is also a really great thing if I need to have access to that. And then, so I still have during football season, that's popped up in my calendar. And then I'm a Michigan State fan, and so I keep those schedules. I have those available to kind of toggle on and off. And then you can also have the weather, but I don't use that too often because I just don't need to, but I still have it there in case I want to. So I find that is just an awesome resource, is to have those ready-made calendars that just download automatically to my calendar without having to manually input every single appointment. Then the next thing that I really like is, of course, it's web-based. So I can access all of this information whether I am here at my calendar, or I'm sorry, here at my computer, or if I'm using my app. Until recently, I had been using the native calendar app in my iPhone, but just recently I discovered the actual Google Calendar app, and have decided that I like it much, much better because of the ability to access those web-based calendars, the public calendars that are shared. Prior to that, when I used just the native calendar app in my phone, I could not access, like right here, the Lady Vols game right here. That would not feed over to my phone app when I used that. So I've decided that I like this much better because, again, it's kind of unique to our family, but I do need to know when these sports schedules, I need to have those appointments on my phone and need to be able to access them without having to input every single home women's basketball game, because that's just not going to happen. That's just too much. So that is how we keep things organized. I will add to that all of the calendars that I've created, I have shared with Keith, who also has a Google account. He doesn't typically access those calendars. It's pretty much just me and how I keep track of them, but that functionality is available to him. He could at any point go through and look at any one of the girls' calendars, my calendar. I don't think I've shared my work calendar with him. I may have, but that is something that is nice. That we might be able to use in the future if necessary, is for him to be able, we can all access and look at the same calendar and have access to the same information. So that is how I use Google Calendar. So that is my quick little rundown of how I use Google Calendar to organize my family's schedules. I realize that using Google Calendar isn't like a revolutionary thing that I invented or anything like that, but I do like the way that I have found a system that works for our family between the color coding and the downloadable calendars and the web app. That has really worked for our family and makes keeping track of everybody's schedules much easier for me. So thanks so much for joining me on this Coffee Date Thursday. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see some similar videos from other ladies talking about their organizational tips for their families, I hope you'll check out the link down below of the Coffee Date Thursday playlist, and you'll find all kinds of great videos there from the other ladies. And if you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll give it a like. I would love to see any questions or comments down in the comment section. If you would like to see any tutorials on the way that I use the Google Calendar features that I mentioned here, if there is some interest, I would be happy to show you how to do some of the things I mentioned. Color coding, downloading the public shared calendars, anything like that. I would be happy to share if there's some interest out there. And I hope that you will subscribe so that you can be notified anytime I share new videos. Have a great week, and I will see you next Coffee Date Thursday.